Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today on the bench we have a Vertex Standard, a VX-3200V, which is a VHF commercial radio. This one has a bad final, so we're going to replace the final with a Chinese one from AliExpress. So let's see how that goes. I have to clean this thing up a little bit first. It's disgusting. Alright, so now that it's hooked up, I'm just going to check here on the scope. And we see we only have 18.8 millivolts out. It should be putting out close to 50 watts. So something's clearly up. And what we're going to do to confirm that the transistor, the final transistor is actually bad, is we can measure the gate voltage going to that transistor and see if it's getting the correct voltage there. So according to our diagram here, pin 2 is our gate bias voltage, and that should be 5 volts when we're using a 12.5 volt supply on pin 3, and we're expecting 60 watts output. So pin 2 should be somewhere close to 5 volts, and in our case we are getting about 4.3 volts, which is great. Now, that tells me that something's wrong with this final in my experience, just because when you see a milliwatt output like that, I know it's a bad final. Now, it could also be something between the final and the antenna, like a pin diode, but in that case, our outcome would be a little bit different. We would still get maybe 4 watts out or 2 watts out, something like that. Just in my experience, I can just tell you that this final is toast. And this particular model final is not one that you can open up and just fix a cracked substrate on the ceramic background. Those were the Toshiba finals, not these ones. But we'll still take a look at it anyways, just to show that it looks good. So let's pull this thing out, and I will put it under a microscope and we'll just take a look at it and confirm that it's not any bad crack traces or anything in the ceramic. So, as you can see, this is a Mitsubishi final. This is not the typical Toshiba that you find in an ICOM, the ones where the ceramic backing cracks and takes a trace with it. This is a totally different animal here, but we're still going to zoom in and take a look under the scope just to see if there's anything obvious, but it looks perfectly fine, to be honest. It looks good as new. So here's the page on AliExpress for the final that I bought. I think it was a little bit cheaper at the time. The prices are always fluctuating, but this is the exact one seller that I purchased from for this particular final. Alright, so I ended up getting a final off of AliExpress. And I don't know if I can trust it or not. If it's a real Mitsubishi device. Or if it's just a cover. I don't know. We're going to find out today. And if this works, then it wasn't a bad price. So I'll end up getting another one for another radio. There's an ICOM that needs one, a similar model to this. I am curious though about opening this and seeing if it remotely resembles the one that we've pulled out of it. So this is the one. It's the new one. And this is the old one. So clearly they're totally different, but I'm okay with that if it performs. It could be, it's just a rebadged final for a different model, but as long as it performs reliably, then we'll see. There's usually two different versions of these. There's this one, which is a 5-volt input signal, or sorry, the base is 5 volts, and then trigger, whatever you'd want to call it, gate, and then the other ones are 12 volt. And I have 12 volt ones, but these 5 volt ones are kind of the more common. So we'll see. This one I could use in that ICOM as well. In fact, I wonder if it's similar design inside to the ICOM. The ICOM one's a RA45H. Okay, well, let's put this in. We'll grease it up. We'll solder it in. And we'll see how it performs. Okay, well, let's try it out and see. Do we have any power output? 39 watts. Nice. Audio check, 1, 2, 3. Audio check. That interference is my little repeater setup right now. Power supply is having issues. But, well, it's a good start. We're getting a 39 watt audio. Yeah, 38 watts. So we can tweak this a little bit in the software. But I like that. Let's just do a little check on what our voltage is going to the final. .28 volts, so we can get that up right up to 5. I think it maxes out at 7 volts. So we can do that in the software alignment. And, well, might as well just do it now. Why not? So I'm just confirming by reading the radio. Always read the radio first, normally, just to confirm that your cable's working and everything's fine. And there we go. So let's go to the alignment. So now we're at 44.1. So we can go up a little bit if we, 52. Yeah, we don't want to go too high. I've now got it at 47. Now we're at 50. Let's go right on 50, and we're still not maxed out, so that's good. It's a little bit warm, but it's not hot, it's not too warm, it's not bad for, what was that, about 30 seconds we held that one. So I'll leave it there for that adjustment, and we'll do some other adjustments, deviation, and all that, just to make sure that the new final hasn't thrown any of that off. The great thing with the software is that it's super easy to do, you know, compared to a traditional radio or CB radio or an older amateur radio. The software just makes it, pretty much everything's done in the software. You just put in, you use frequency generator and power meter and a spectrum analyzer, like you would with a normal alignment, but it's just a lot less steps. There's no probing really. It's all just plug in, tweak, and there you go. Anywho, so let's put the cover back on. Close this thing up. Obviously, I'm going to throw this thing in a car and, you know, use it for a little while, just because Chinese final. I mean, it could be an authentic final transistor for something. They've just literally put a different cover with that model number on it. So it may not be a Mitsubishi, it could be a Toshiba. It did not look like a Toshiba to me, but I don't really know, because I don't think any radios come with finals that look like that anymore. I could be wrong. So there it is. Another one. Good to go. Thanks for watching, guys, and if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you on the next one.